In this video, we're going to be looking at Sage Intacct for construction, and we're going to be focusing specifically on the multi-entity management capabilities of the system together with consolidations. So if you're a construction organization with multiple entities within your group and you'd like to bring them together into a single instance, automate intercompany transactions between them and consolidate, then this video is for you. We're going to be focusing on three key areas today. The first being how the platform handles separate legal entities in a single instance, how it then goes about automating transactions between them, and then providing a consolidated view across your organization. So just getting straight into it, one of the key things to note here when you log into the platform is the multi-entity support. So out of the box, the platform is configured to support multiple entities. This structure of a top level allows you to have a central workstation where you can essentially perform functionality that spans more than one entity. So in this instance, what we'd be doing at the top level is setting up a common chart of accounts that is used across all the entities in the group. And then it's also at this top level where we would do things like intercompany transactions, run a consolidation process, and look at consolidated reports. You can naturally drill down to the individual entities and transact and report at that level, but the top level gives us this consolidated view. So the first thing to note is I have all of my entities, separate legal entities in a single instance with common data sets in this top level structure. What this allows us to then do is automate intercompany transactions. And we'll look at a simple example here on a journal entry, but this is a universal concept that applies throughout the system. So in this example, I'm going to pick up a general journal here, and we'll duplicate one of the journals I created earlier, just in the interest of time. I'll just drill down into this transaction and duplicate it. So this particular journal is an intercompany transaction where one of our companies is going to be charging a management fee to other entities within the group. So looking through my lines here, the first row is a management fee of 1,800. I'm transacting in USD for this example. 1,800 USD is the management fee, and it's split evenly across different entities. So looking through here, my location, I've got this Brisbane entity that's splitting that fee across all these various entities. And I've got my revenue account and my relevant expense account across these entities. So effectively, the journal is out of balance at the entity level. What we'll now do is go ahead and submit this, and you can then start to have approval processes and have reviews and things like that. And drilling down into this particular transaction, what you'll now notice is it was this top section of the transaction that we had posted, where we're charging the management fee across our various entities. And what Intacct has then done for us is gone ahead and automatically balanced this intercompany transaction for us. So we can see here that we have our, across our GC entity here, we can see the amount owing of the 300 management fee that it's due to it. So the debit side of the transaction, and then for actual transacting entities, we can also then see the credit side of that transaction as an intercompany due to. So this happens automatically throughout the system. Multi-currency is supported in this instance as well. And what is important to note is, because this happens throughout the system, if you had an accounts payable invoice in one entity, but that invoice was being paid for from another entity's bank account because they're the ones who actually have an active bank account, or they're the ones with foreign currency in that bank account to settle that foreign currency invoice, the behavior happens automatically throughout the system and eliminates the need for you to manually process intercompany transactions. And it also happens at arm's length. So you can go ahead and raise an AR invoice in one entity and have it automatically pop up as an AP invoice in your second entity. So with that in mind, let's now go ahead and look at how this translates when it comes to consolidations. To do this, I'm going to bring up my controller's dashboard for a moment. This ties back into the native reporting capability of the platform. In this particular case, my controller actually is looking at the reports at the top level and looking at a consolidated view across the organization. And what they could do is filter this down to look at just one particular entity. So for example, I'm going to pick up my MEP entity here as an example, apply that as a filter. And what then happens is in real time, all of my dashboard components will filter down to show me just the performance of this one individual entity from within the group. So let's look at how you can actually run a consolidation process and automate elimination entries. This happens if you needed to actually demonstrate a consolidation process with elimination entries of intercompanies. This is done here through the consolidation module. And what you'd be able to do is set up different consolidation books. In my case here, I've got two separate consolidation books that I'm running. You can have a specific currency that you'd like to consolidate in. And within each of these consolidation books, you simply specify which entities you'd like to consolidate. So in my case, I've picked up all of my entities here. In previous videos, we've spoken about the dimensional GL structure that lives within Intacct. Essentially, what this means is you can set up your chart of accounts at a really simple natural account number level only and achieve granular reporting and tracking leveraging dimensions. So in my case, these are the various dimensions that I'm tracking. So being a project-based organization in construction, I have my project dimension, my cost code and cost type, and I can then prepare P&L reports down to a project level, look at cost code and cost type. And here when I consolidate, I can also decide which dimensions I'd like to include in my consolidation. So in my case here with my consolidated results, I want to be able to do an analysis of P&L by location, by department, and even project, because I may have projects that span more than one entity. Next up is the actual elimination entries that are posted. So all of those intercompany loan accounts automatically pick up for you to eliminate. But if you had additional intercompany accounts that you'd also like to eliminate as part of this process, you'd simply go ahead and add them into this table, and they too would get eliminated as part of running this consolidation process. Now, once your consolidation book is set up, to actually run the consolidation, it's as easy as coming to your consolidation area, choosing the period that you'd like to consolidate, and hitting consolidate. You can then enter an email address and a prompt would be sent to you once the consolidation process has been run. And you can see the color coordination tells you quite clearly where you're at with the consolidation. There is also the option of consolidating with options, which would essentially allow you to set up things like a recurrence. So you don't have to manually do this. Let's say you knew that your end of month was down to 4 days. So you could have this automatic consolidating on day 5 of every month and send through an email alert to a particular user. So you don't have to come in and do this every single day. If you wanted to do this as a more frequent consolidation, you've got the ability to do this as well. So essentially, this starts to give you the flexibility in how you schedule and run your consolidation. And the native reporting gives you the ability to report at an individual entity level, at a group level, and so forth. So in summary, that is an overview of how Sage Intacct is able to handle multiple entities on a single instance, start to automate some of your repetitive processes like intercompany transactions between them, run a consolidation process, including eliminations, and then give you that consolidated view. If you'd like to learn more, please visit our website at LimeLedger.com. We are a specialist Sage Intacct implementation partner. We work with construction companies across Australia and New Zealand, helping them streamline their processes, leveraging the latest technology.